right. So I got my spiritual bro heading to the stage right now, Jason Antalek. And we just we're playing a song called I Got a Cape on the Inside. And he's gonna help you connect with your spiritual powers. That's the theme today. So Jason is known professionally as the Akasha Man. He's a distinguished leader in the field of intuitive guidance, metaphysical teaching, transformation consulting. His journey into the Akashic records began in 2015 after a head injury prompted him to seek beyond conventional medicine. I'm with you there. I've had my own little bumps in the noggins as well. This exploration led him to become a licensed facilitator of soul realignment, a modality that accesses the Akashic records for personal growth and healing. An intuitive reading with Jason offers personalized insights into and individuals' soul blueprints, guiding them towards self discovery and empowerment. As a reader, teacher, and speaker in the metaphysical industry, Jason maintains integrity through a practical, no sense approach to metaphysical subjects by maintaining a healthy skepticism of metaphysical concepts, focusing on connecting the unseen with actionable steps that yield real world results, like here in this
Don't
world.
ever trust me writing my own intro again. That is just so long. Oh my God. I just got to bail you out of that. Why really? Let's talk about superpowers and move on. I am so sorry. I'm gonna hug you. You've been busting your butt putting this all together. I just gonna pull you out of that one. Ripcord, we're gonna take the shoot, man. Uh, you, Danny already told me in the chat here that she's an Akashic Records practitioner too. I would say that a lot of us probably are. So do you mind if we start there a little bit about the Akashic Records? Because we want to get a baseline. Is that cool, Tiff?
Absolutely. I'm just gonna let you take over the stage.
Oh,
So run with it.
I like people to play with. So if there's
Oh
anybody
yeah.
that is going to be interested in maybe, being willing to jump up here and let me read for them, what I'm going to share to start with actually, oh, okay. I'm going to try not to be distracted. What I'm going to share with actually is better when we do it, because
Okay.
everybody has superpowers, and somebody that's willing to allow me to tap into their, shall we say, Akashic record, their soul book, their whatever. Really, that's just permission, because the records have integrity. The records are a database. Basically, everyone's Akashic record is the journey of their soul from the beginning. Your soul
Okay.
goes,
Well,
"Oop,
Paulina
there I
digitally
am."
raised her hand first. So
Okay. Well,
gonna
we kind of figure out what. All right. What's your name? Oh, you know what?
oh
You know
here, let me
what? I
unmute
get,
you.
I get, we can bring another one, because I'm one ahead of the curve right there, because Paulina already took care of of getting my freebie. So let's add another one there. So I've already got her information. So we'll
Okay.
start there, and let's
Valerie was also
bring it on.
first
Bring it on. I'll read for Valerie live. You got to
in
be on video
the
with me though. That's part of the
chat.
goodies.
So I'm gonna bring Valerie up also.
All right. Cool. Hi, Val. Like Valerie. Valerie, do I have your permission to read for you?
Yes, you do.
Oh, awesome. I need about 30 seconds. So I hope that host has some cool biographical information finished to say. Just kidding.
See, this is why he and I could just laugh for like 3 hours and
Yeah.
maybe say 5 words.
Well, that's why just at the beginning, people are going, "What is going on?" That is what happens when the two of us get together. We see each other for the first time in LA. We've talked a bunch of times, but at the event we just did with the Tribune in LA, which was, oh my gosh, so much fun. But we get to see each other, and it's the first thing we did was start laughing again. Right? Every time we see each other, we just kind of start giggling. So it's just the way it works. Give me about 10 seconds here, and I'll have what I need, and we can get going and talk about
Sure.
powers.
All
Uh,
right. Well, he's getting ready. Everyone, like, bust out your cape Okay. Get a little clamp on your shoulders here. Whatever your cape represents, your gifts. And if you're still in discovery of them, I promise you, you have a cape. You just might not have tapped into it yet.
That's so correct there, because the truth is about our superpowers is we all have them, and that's a lot of the same things all the coaches and everybody that's in the self-help and the whole industry are really talking about is getting into to those places and tapping into the things that we're inherently good at, following those things to our passions and how we express ourselves, and then ultimately how do we distribute that into the world, right? That's kind of what we're all after, and is when we go into that, oh geez, the spiritual journey, right? The spiritual journey, awakening, don't recommend. It is a buy-in for sure. There isn't a pill, there's no magic door. I mean, we've come across them, sure, but expectations, let's be real about what's going on there. There isn't a shortcut. There's not a way around. The way is often through. And what we find out along the way is what we're inherently good at, and mostly because of our trials, because we got to figure out a way out of these problems, man. I don't know about you guys, but when I had a stack of questions from a concussion, I'm trying to figure out the answers to a lot of questions at one time. That's what I found him in the records. It's the same journey a lot of us are on. We're asking questions, right? Polina, you are willing to say yes to get a reading because I'm sure that you've got some things you'd like to have answered, right? I'm sure you got some questions, and using our superpowers, we can answer those things for ourselves. The truth is, we've already got the building blocks. Right, so if you think superpowers are out of reach for you, okay, I get that, but we're going to talk about building blocks today. You take a couple of building blocks and you got something to stand on. Right. So for me, my building blocks are very much like Val's here. So Val, you and I have a similar energy. And when I'm talking about energy here, you guys, we're talking about at a soul level. Okay. That's what we're staring at. This is something that the energy that's been with us the whole time. Now, Tiffany, I feel compelled to include you in this reading. I'm just saying. So
Well,
just
you've never done a reading for me,
no, I
so I
haven't, but
feel blessed.
I feel like I should be
We
including you.
we've been wanting to do one together, like to actually work on each other and do a reading.
Do I
So,
have your permission to just get this first stuff?
all right,
All
yeah,
right.
let's do it.
Okay. See,
I'll
that's me.
receive.
7. And then where? Okay. Yeah. Oh, wow. That was easy. Okay. Okay. Well, this lines up really nice because we can talk about 3 different basic types of energy. And the work that I do and I teach within soul realignment, it's kind of like that archetype thing. It's another version of that, just framed in a little bit different way. And because it's associated with the Akashic records, that framing is super important, because me having a frame of reference is me understanding what the tendencies are, what are the building blocks, but not necessarily who somebody is or how they express it. That's what I call the ringside seat to miraculous information and transformation, is because I can get close, but just like anything in life, somebody can tell you stuff, but until we take ourselves there, right, and accept it, we're not really sure it's true. We learn these cool gifts we have along the way. Like Val and I, we're both kind of lean into that communication space. Right? I'm all about self-expression and authenticity. Now, that happens in different ways. Okay. We're not saying that everybody who's expressive is going to run their mouth like I do. Right? But Val, you probably know what I'm talking about. You have forms of expression in your world. Is that true for you?
I don't know.
You don't know if you have forms of expression?
No.
Okay, well, that would be the first thing I would suggest for you then, is some way for you to share your stories and who you are. That is the pathway for me that made the biggest difference. When I learned that my story actually had value to it, and I shared that authentically with others, people connected to that. And it showed me that the path that I had been on had some kind of substance to it. I saw it in ways of having value and helping others have permission to fight their way through things. So I would bet that somewhere in your experience, Val, if you have been very expressive, you were likely like me and maybe a little too much. I get
I
that puppy
wasn't.
energy.
I wasn't, and people were upset. So I started to listen. I've been
Ah,
recently being able to communicate with people with my Celebrate Recovery with this Christ based 12-step study with issues. My issue was grief and loss, and then I found out all these things of trauma, and I was able to write them and express them out to my sponsor.
I love what you're saying because you're sharing with us. There's the expression and us understanding your authentic experience very quickly. So thank you for the share. And also similar to you with this effervescence and my enthusiasm, I had to learn to listen as well. It was one of the greatest gifts that was delivered to me in my understanding. And until I had answered some of my own questions, which I did through my Akashic record studies and reading for others, I was able to actually fuel that for myself and find more of who I am within it. And when I learned to listen, which it was about a year having to do that, that's a lie. I really had to spend 3 months trying to shut my mouth and another month keeping it closed. So maybe I got about 8 months out of a year. But the idea was that it opened up space for me to hear things and to see the world in my unique way and to realize that had value. So Val, thank you for sharing. I also have time in the rooms and have worked through addictions and really what I was addicted to, I think, was anger, and I was covering it up with other things. So thank you for being open with that space. And as I said, authentic, right? You were very straightforward about who you are, and that's truly one of your superpowers. Is authenticity. The building block is the self-expression. The building blocks of self-expression are talking and listening. Right? So you guys see what I'm saying? They kind of build together and come together in interesting ways. So Tiffany, you're going to understand self-expression in a big way, but you're more about honesty. Right, you're gonna be that straight shooter, give it to them just like it is. The one who will say, "Hey, there's a problem over here, and somebody needs to do something about this." Does that sound familiar to you? Would you say you're a truth seeker?
I am.
And that comes with so many incredible gifts. Then not all of them look like gifts. I'm just going to be honest. You look at a situation and see half a dozen truths where everybody else might see two or three.
I also see the partial truths.
Right. So even the
And
pieces
I'm like, no.
yeah. Now, when you're somebody who can actually see that, and I don't see it the same way. I pick up on some of those things in my own ways. Yeah, but the difference in my gifts and yours would be that you see it, so that means sense it, know it. I mean, pick a Claire, right? But it's the understanding that it exists. So in the same 5 seconds where I get two truths because I'm gonna have mine and what I think theirs is, and you're gonna get those two plus a handful more. So that is actually the gift if we just look at it, in logical terms. By comparison, for you, Paulina, you're operating more with a wisdom type of energy. So your gift, rather than being the specific truths that show up, is going to be more like messages. You've been probably getting messages from everything in your world your whole life: the dog, the mailbox, spirit, right? Pick a feature. We're back to the Wonderverse Clairs and how things come in. So does that actually match your experience? Because I don't want to project there, but Paulina, have you experienced getting messages in different ways?
Mm, doesn't resonate. I get a lot of information. Would that be what you mean by messages?
Yeah, because and here's why I would say that, and yes, because we're not trying to make it fit. I don't really operate that way because it doesn't make sense. Because there's usually something that aligns because we're being logical in our approach, which I would assume you kind of understand because wisdom has that way about it. Yes, information, because you'd be tapped into universal knowledge. Akashic records, kind of a given, but also the mailbox and the dog and the television, the other things I listed that are random. There's going to be channels for you where it comes in, where I might be able to channel and it comes right out my mouth because that's how it works for me. For Tiffany, it's going to come in and be a truth that she's going to process and decide whether she's going to deliver it, because they're usually pretty accurate. And they yeah, sometimes we have to be nice.
That movie was like, you can't handle the truth.
right, you know exactly
in
what that means.
moment.
Yeah.
I see so much, but most of the time people can't handle the level.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that, because you guys have kind of a similar approach, and a philosophy I'm about to share with you will actually align and help you both, and maybe some other folks too. But the messaging and getting the information from the universe, that's actually the gift, Paulina. It's kind of like, if I'm going to lay out and get as much sun as possible, okay, I'm only going to absorb so much. I'm going to miss some rays. It's just going to happen. This is as much as I can hold. So is some of those messages going to go by? Yes. The gift is that you have an unlimited supply. We could look at it another way. You have a big bag of seeds sitting next to you that you can reach into anytime and throw it out in the world, right? Here's the wisdom. Have it. Wisdom is the stuff you can put on a t-shirt. Awakening, don't recommend, right? It makes a bumper sticker, okay? Truth is more in the moment, right? So Tiffany, you have that kind of sitting in, you're good right at the point of contact. You can pull it off, you can do the thing, and you probably find yourself very effective in the moment. And as a different approach, say for you, Paulina, you're going to have that kind of sit back and observe. Have you noticed how you see the big picture in a sort of a movie style? Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. That is that extra power of observation, and it's a real thing. The other part of that is you have that ability to pull the wisdom or what somebody needs out of it and give it to them. Right? People come to you for advice, yes?
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
the way you just described that is like really spot on. I had shivers as a register, it registered. Yes.
Oh, good. So
Like a movie, for sure. Like
yeah.
it really is like a movie. Yeah.
Great. You'll love the report I sent you then, because there's like a whole thing there, and it's very, for you and I and our analytical minds, it's very straightforward. It is not fluffy for those of you that expect it to be. It's just not. It's not who I am. But the accuracy is there and the logic is there. The wisdom really comes with a common sense as well. One of my other pieces is stupid people should glow. Right, which is a very unspiritual way, and I apologize if I ruffle a feather or two, but it's a fun shirt. But that's because I'm one of those people that doesn't really have that common sense. I get myself wet every time I wash the dishes. It's just a true thing. Erin and I laugh about, my fiance and I laugh about it at night all the time. It happens every night. I just giggle. She goes, "You did it again." Yeah, that's what happens. You would think I would learn.
On that one, you can get plastic aprons to wear while you're washing dishes. I know.
Okay. I expect a hairnet. I expect a kit now that has a hairnet in it as well. Okay. You and I literally just wrote right there another one of our little spiritual bits. So
yes.
we gotta pencil one of those down. Yeah, I get wet every time. And you'd think I would learn, but it's just because it's how it happens, right? It's not, I just, in that space, okay, I accept it. I'm going to get my shirt wet. So for you, Paulina, it's like you can see the hole that nobody else can see. And to you, it's obvious. You've been telling them all day, there's a hole. I mean, put up a sign, put up some caution tape. Like, why do you guys keep falling in it? I can only do so much. It's actually the gift that you see it. Because I'll tell you what, I appreciate both of you, and here's a reason for each of you why. With that wisdom, you can see that hole, and I'm listening. There are people that listen, and when you tell me, I don't have to climb out of it today. Right? You throw a rope to people with that advice, with your succinctness, with your ability to see the big picture and hand them what they need. Right? It's so beautiful and it has so much value. And you take the time to think it over. Right? You actually look at it, and we're going to talk about this process. So Tiffany, you hand over the truth and you've already done so much with it. Both of you guys take in information, process it, prioritize it, and then decide if any of it is really worth saying and if you really want to say it, and then how you're going to say it, and then say it, which is like 7 steps, each of which you're both good at. But you do it so fast, right? You might forget that those little building blocks are that superpower of truth or superpower of wisdom. Right? The things you guys are good at. Tiffany, you see it for what it is. You're willing to say so, right? You got that spiritual warrior part of you that doesn't put up with corruption or lies or deceit. You know, you want to know why you'll get on the soapbox? There it is, my friend. You'll tell me, oh, you got something in your teeth, dude. That's gotta go. I'm a love me a truth person that says that. I don't have anything stuck in my teeth, and I don't have to fall in a hole today. I'm super pleased by that being true. Now, you guys, how are you feeling about that information? Let me hear some feedback from you guys.
Me,
I
guys,
feel awesome.
or them?
Well, you feel awesome because you're clearly petting a pooch right there. So how could we
Well,
not?
he's really responding to you. He's never like this. He wants to be in this with us today. I don't know what's going on.
The
I
doggy
will,
wants a
I will be
reading.
so honest that happens all the time, that people say that their animals show up. I have had animals in my life, basically my whole journey. Whenever I did anything that was ritual or held space or any of that, they love to be around, except for my little Chihuahua on stilts that I have right now. And as soon as I hit a drum, he is gone. I hit a Native American drum for a session or something, and he jets. Look at that face.
He's in it. He's in it.
Nice.
So what do you think, Tiff? How are you feeling about that?
Good.
Good. All right. Let's not act like this is everything you guys are. Right. This is just well, it's not. You're a lot more layered and complicated than that.
Multifaceted being.
Okay. Well, sometimes an old soul is just a slow learner. I'm just pointing it out as a possibility. The, the neat thing is that there's additional energies here, right? There's more to us. And as we look through our record, what I refer to as our divine soul blueprint, which is what I'm offering up for you guys today, is the opportunity to dive into that first layer of information for yourself and see how it's resonant. Because it's a chance to kind of go, all right, somebody actually took the time to get my information for me, and they're willing to hand over the first layer so that I can see if it resonates. Because if it doesn't, then that's not a channel for you. If it does, then we have a conversation to have. You know. Oh, thank you both for being willing, Val and Paulina, and Tiffany. Tiffany, now I got your info now.
Ooh.
I know what your soul group of origin is too. I got that today. So yeah, there's some fun conversation ahead.
Well, we talk all the time, so you're gonna have to share the goods on that. And if you guys want to get a half an hour one-on-one session with him, you'll need to pick up the VIP package, because that's his VIP gift, where you'll actually get to have your own personalized reading with him. And then, as I put in the chat, the soul blueprint initial report, see what shows up for you. Maybe there's something untapped that you haven't even known yet is a superpower.
That's it. It's a very practical approach to what I don't mind 2 scoops of woo, but a scoop of woo and a scoop of logic kind of keeps it balanced for me. And that's how I manage to bring what I need from over here to over here and implement. Because
and 2 scoops of woo is his podcast.
Oh yeah, that is true. Well, that's kind of where it came from, right? It was just a conversation. I ended up saying 2 scoops of woo. How do I have that and then play with the Tribune and the Speakers Bureau? It's just it confuses me some days. I just don't know some days, Tiffany. I got to keep seeing you and doing these things so we can have this level of fun, because it has been so great. Thank you for the panel earlier, getting to see everybody with the pillars of power, having Mo show up today and share with us what we're doing and make an announcement. I mean, it was just really great for you to bring the people together and the opportunity for those things to be furthered and giving a stage for what we're really doing in the grander sense here. So my heart, my love goes out to you. I am so excited to join you tomorrow as the games master. Woo-hoo.
Yeah.
I'm taking my tips from the game master today, so I'm just in training today. But tomorrow I get to play all day. So thank you,
You have
Danny,
your
for doing
training
that.
wheels with like baby cape for your games.
Yeah,
GM Games
I'm
Master.
gonna see if I can find like one of those little tiny capes and a cowboy hat, right? The little cowboy hat with the string, do, a hairnet and a plastic, plastic apron.
Oh, that's too funny. Well, thank you, everyone. Give some love to Jason.
Thank you, everybody. Thanks so much for being here and being with us. Please take advantage of the gifts that are there. I love what I do, and I would love to share it with you. It is the information in your record. You should have it.
And the question about what is the VIP gift link, that is on the VIP dashboard. So if you signed up for VIP, you should have an email that has the link to the VIP dashboard, and that will give you all of the access to the recordings when they're ready, and all of the gifts are available now to you.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you, Jason.
Thanks, Tiffany.
My pleasure.